Good morning. Welcome back. Thought I'd do another video this morning. Today I want to do a video on the girl that died in Charlottesville, North Carolina. The one that got ran over by the maniac that plowed his car through a crowd of people. So in the news, there's a lot of sympathy, naturally, for this girl and her parents, and for the needless death that was caused. Would I call it a tragedy? I don't know. I've just got some questions about it that I think people would do well to consider. So, first of all, do you have, or do you tend to have sympathy for a person who, I don't know, let's say joins a crowd and wanders into the middle of a freeway to stop traffic, and then somebody decides they're not going to stop. Maybe they have to go to the bathroom real bad and they don't want to, get nailed for public indecency or exposure, and so they just plow right through the crowd and one of these people gets run over. I'm sorry, I don't have any sympathy for that, because you know that a car is bigger than you and it can hurt you if it's in motion and you can't get out of the way, right? I mean, that should be common sense. Do you feel sorry for that lady that a couple of years ago climbed into a tiger's habitat, tiger's preserve, and was mauled to death? I don't. Stupidness gets you killed sometimes, and that lady was stupid. I'm sorry, she was stupid. You don't do things like that and expect there to be no consequences. Well, actually, it seems like people actually do things like that and expect there to be no consequences. It's like, sometimes I think that people in this country are somehow selectively forgetting about the laws of physics. So, back to this girl in Charlottesville. Now, there's a ton of sympathy. Everybody's, commenting, oh, God bless her parents, oh, she was a good girl, she was this, that, and the other thing, she was so loving, let's love, let's not hate, let's come together, let's unite, let's stand together. Well, obviously, there isn't any unity. Obviously, people aren't standing together. Obviously, there's a lot of hate out there. And simply saying, using your mouth to voice the words, oh, let's stand together, let's come together in unity, love trumps hate, does absolutely jack fuck all. Okay? It does nothing to solve the problem. Now, this girl, I imagine she must have been a lovely person, given the choice of people she chose to associate with. Antifa, the ones who show up in black with armor, covering their faces, bringing sticks, bottles, cans, bear mace, etc., shutting down other people's free speech, okay? So this white supremacist rally, or this white nationalist rally, whatever the fuck it was, right? It was all about protesting the fact that the liberals want to take down that statue of Robert E. Lee. They're calling it racist. It's anything to do with the Confederacy is now racist. And so there's this big push to destroy those cultural icons. Way to go, people. It's exactly what ISIS does. It's what Islam does when it takes a country over or a culture over. It erases all of the historical icons of that culture so that in the future, no one will remember that there ever was any such thing other than Islam, right? And that's what you leftist pukes are doing to this country. You're trying to destroy cultural icons so that no one will remember that we used to have prosperity, that we used to have all these things that you hate somehow because, who knows, you're crazy. You don't think for yourself. That's what it is. You let your liberal professors and your idiot feminist teachers and all the LGBTQ ABC community fill your head up with a bunch of nonsense. And this is the result. You get people like this girl imagining that they have the right to shut somebody else down and to stop them from getting their message out because they're racist or whatever the accusation is, right? So what happens? Well, she winds up dead because she made bad life choices. She made the decision. She put herself in that place at that time in order to join on the side of wrong, in order to join the side who is trampling other people's rights, basic fundamental rights, right? So I'm sorry, fuck her. She's got no sympathy coming from me. And the father, I do feel sympathy for him. That poor guy, even in the news, you know, he's saying, oh, my daughter was just headstrong, obstinate. You know, you could not argue with her. Of course he loves her. It's his daughter. And of course he probably worships her. And of course he probably backed down on a lot of arguments with her where she was headstrong and independent and doing the wrong thing, and he's probably just said, wow, you know what, I just can't take it anymore. Go ahead, honey, do whatever you want. He just wanted to avoid conflict, is what I imagine. And so all the nice things that he tried to work in there about his daughter come from a place, I'm sure, of deep love for his daughter, but also sorrow that he probably couldn't reach her. He couldn't put any reason into her head. And now she's dead. Deep down, he's got to know that she was on the wrong side of history. Deep down, he's got to know that what she was doing, her position, her reason for being there was wrong. Okay? Immoral, as in a sin, as in evil, right? She was on the side of evil. Now, were these white nationalists or white supremacists or whatever they are, the alt-right, were they on the side of good? No, I don't think so. I don't really know what their movement is about, really, other than what I hear from the news, which is all one-sided. Of course, racism, 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 hatred, bigotry, racism. That's all I know about the alt-right because, well, maybe I should just go check them out. You know, I mean, it's like the more people want me to stay away from that group, well, maybe I ought to consider listening to what they have to say. If you so badly don't want that message to get to me, maybe I ought to be getting that message. So maybe I ought to check out the alt-right. Because somehow I suspect there's a whole lot more to the story than just racism, 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 bigotry, hatred, and racism, right? I mean, there's got to be. And I got another question for you. Let's assume I'm racist, right? Okay, fine. I'm racist. How does that affect you? Have I come up and punched you in the face? No. Am I going to refuse to sell you goods? No. So I just don't understand why people think that someone being racist equates to a moral sin, right? Equates to evil. Like, they got Trump to say racism is evil. Really? I bet you there are a lot of people out there who really are genuinely racist and who can't help feeling that way. So are you going to tell me that something inside you, something that controls how you feel is evil, is wrong, is immoral? I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. Now, have I run into real racism? Sure. Am I racist? You decide. I don't really... Okay, I know Yahoo's probably going to yank this video down for saying it, but here it goes. I don't give a fuck. Alright, so to wrap up this video, if you're crying crocodile tears over this girl's death, save them for a real tragedy, because she chose to be there and she was on the wrong side of history. That's all I got to say. Peace out.